Hello everyone and welcome back to Sentence 101, getting to know the different elements of a sentence. Today we will be doing lesson number 3, tenses. Now these are just the basic simple and continuous tenses. And before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Natasha. I am an author, an editor, and an educator from South Africa. I have 4 years teaching experience with an honors degree in English language and literature, as well as a postgraduate certificate in language education. Now, as always, like, share, and subscribe to my channel so more people can see this video. And if you are struggling with anything language-wise, please do leave me a comment down below so that I can make sure that I focus a video on that if enough people ask for it. And I'm very excited to be your teacher today. Now, in the previous lesson, we learned the different parts of speech. Can you still remember what those were? And then we learned how to identify those parts of speech, and we remembered that knowledge for future videos. Now guys, as always, after this lesson, you should have learned a few skills, and that would be to know the simple and continuous tenses, to understand how to change a tense, and to remember that knowledge for future videos. As always, keep it in your mind. Okay, I have a little bit something different for today. It's big word time. Conjugate. So, do any of you know what conjugate means? Conjugate. So, conjugate means to put a verb into its specific tense. And guys, remember, we can only conjugate verbs, but I think that goes without saying. You can't conjugate a noun, only verbs. Right, so why is it important to be able to conjugate a tense? Tenses are very important in the structure of a sentence because they help us understand the time and order of events. And they allow us to convey important information, like with reported speech and direct speech. Okay, if you're not sure what those are, don't worry, we haven't covered them just yet. If you do, great, that means you're on the right track. Now, how do we conjugate? So I want you to focus on this table here for me, okay? If I can just get my highlighter. I want you to focus on this table right here. It might look like Greek to you now, but just bear with me, please. It will make sense in a second. We are going to eat the elephant one bite at a time. So, when we conjugate verbs, meaning we put them into their tense, there will always be a hard and fast recipe. That's the nice thing about tenses. You can just memorize them. They're so easy. It's not like other parts of English that you have to practice them and build up your skill. This is literally, I am going to memorize this until kingdom come and until I can say it at 2 o'clock in the morning in my sleep. That's how you should be able to do tenses. And for that, we have a little recipe. And it's always nice to have a recipe because, once again, it's something you can memorize and always follow, and you will always get the same result if you follow the recipe. Now, our recipe looks as follows. Obviously, I only have 2 of the tenses here that we are going to conjugate. And English has a total of 12 tenses, actually. But we're only going to deal with 6 of those tenses today, okay? Which is the simple, and then each one of these is one. Why isn't this highlighting? There we go. Each one of these is one tense, okay? So that's how we have 6, because 2 times 3 equals 6. Right, so our recipe for the simple tense. Now this table over here is the simple tense. Our recipe for the simple tense is we use the verb past. That's what VP means. It means the verb past. So V just means the verb, and past means the verb past. Now this is going to become very important when we start working with past participles. But the verb past, and if we look at the example, the verb past of dream is dreamt. Now this is a regular verb. You can also say dreamed, but I prefer dreamt. Okay, dreamt, that's the verb past. Now the simple present is just the plain old verb. Okay, that's literally just the plain old verb. So we take this one, which is the base form, that's what we're calling it, the base form, and we put it in here, the plain simple verb dream. Now our recipe for the future tense is will plus your verb. Okay, so will plus our verb, which is over here, will dream. Let me just get a laser pointer there. I think that's going to work much better. Can you guys see me? Yeah, okay. So will plus our verb. This is our plain simple verb. So will dream. The continuous tense, okay, I forgot to mention, the simple tense is the tense that describes like a habit or something that happens regularly. For example, I run, I walk, I eat. Those are things that we regularly do. That's what the simple tense is for. The continuous tense is an action that is continuing, it is ongoing. Okay, and it also has a very easy recipe. Now we have, for the past tense, we have was plus our verb plus ing. Now if you look down here, please follow the laser pointer and follow the recipe with me carefully. If you look down here, we have was plus our verb plus ing, which becomes was dreaming. As simple as that. Now, for present, we have am or is or are plus your verb plus ing. Now, for the sake of these videos, we are going to use am because the subject we will assume is I. If you look back at subject, verb, object, you will remember that our verb needs to agree with our subject. Right. So am, we are always using am in these videos because the subject is I. So it's am plus verb plus ing. So it's am plus dream plus ing. I am dreaming. Then our future tense is also a very easy recipe. It's a lot like the future simple, except that we add a be and an ing. So we have will plus be plus verb plus ing. Okay, do you see? Plus ing. Let's see how that looks with a regular verb. Will be dreaming. So I hope now you remember how to work with this recipe over here, rather. But we used a regular verb. Now, how is it going to look if we have, oh, look, there the school bell went. If we have an irregular verb? In the next slide, we're going to do an irregular verb. So let's do the verb blow. Blow is irregular because it doesn't follow the normal spelling patterns. This is something you'll have to memorize, guys, how to conjugate it, what its verb past looks like. Now, blow in the simple past, remember it is verb past. And then present is just the plain verb, which is blow, so we put that again. And then future is will plus verb blow. Now the continuous tense, was blowing, am blowing, will be blowing. Did you manage to understand all of that? If you did, great stuff, you're on the right track. Here are a few self-study examples. I'd like you to see if you can do them by yourself. And also wonderful, I've got a free resource for everyone who made it this far into the video. Please email me for that free resource with the subject heading tenses. If you have any questions, as always, leave them below and I will try and answer them as soon as possible. Remember to like, share and subscribe so more people can see this video. Guys, this was the first tenses video in Sentence 101. I hope it was informative. Have a wonderful day.